Conversations with My Sister, a live talk experience with delegates, queens, and allies of the Miss Full Figure DMV pageant about the world of pageantry and various daily topics. I am Director Lorraine Comer-Ross, a woman full of ambition, passion, and a love for my fellow sister. Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to another episode of Conversations with My Sister. This is a 7-week series about 2021 delegates and our awesome and beauty delegates. I am super excited. Well, you're going to hear me say that every series, honey, because I love these women, okay? I love these women. I am super excited to introduce them to you because I get the opportunity to spend more time with them on our own private time. So you are welcome to get to meet my beautiful sisters. Tonight, we are having 2 more of our delegates, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'm not going to take the thunder. I end up doing that every time. I'll probably do it again this time, but let's try to see what's happening. Let's see if it happened. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
We are here. Yes. So we do have Delegate Natalie and Delegate SaDonna. And this is all I'm going to say. I'm going to let them introduce their full names and where they're from. Let's start with you, Delegate SaDonna.
Hello, my name is SaDonna Gatlin, and I'm from Columbia, Maryland.
All right now, Columbia, Maryland. They got pretty trees out there, but no lights on the highways.
And a lot of trails, too.
A lot of trails. I love it. All right, Delegate Natalie.
Hi, I'm Delegate Natalie Babaniyi, and I live in Fairfax, Virginia, but I'm from California.
California. And the little tidbit about Miss Natalie, honey, she liked to travel. We'll talk about that later. Because she ended up all the way over here from Cali. Yes. So she did some traveling, baby. We're super excited to have you both as 2021 delegates. Tonight we're going to just have a good time, a good old chat with your big sister. Gorgeous one. You know that was my gorgeous. If nobody else going to label you, baby, label yourself. This is what's happening with me right now, okay?
Love it.
It's going to be an amazing evening. So I first want to also talk a little bit about a couple of things. The first thing I want to talk about is we are a full figure pageant. And as you know, stereotypes kind of put as the women of the fuller figure don't really have much confidence. Well, boy, are they wrong. I'm going to ask you, starting with Delegate Natalie, what is being confident to you?
Being confident to me is being assured. It's being assured in your traits, right? The good and the bad, right? It's being assured in who you are. And I think standing firm in that.
I love that. It makes much sense. A lot of times people mix confidence with self-esteem. You know what I mean? Even though they aren't necessarily go hand in hand, just because someone working on their confidence doesn't mean they don't have good self-esteem. And they have to understand that confidence comes with a lot of work. You have to work on it. But for you to assume that a fuller figure woman does not have confidence, honey, that's a sadly mistaken thing. What does confidence mean to you, Delegate SaDonna?
So to me, confidence is knowing your worth, okay, embracing your flaws with security. Those are the most important things to me. That's what I feel that confidence is.
I love that. Embracing your flaws.
Yes.
Because our flaws, I like that. What do you think about that, embracing your flaws, Delegate Natalie?
I think that's a perfect way to put it. You're embracing your flaws and you're saying, this is me, and you're assured in that. So I love it. I like that.
Yeah.
I love the embracing your flaws. The other reason why I love it is because that's what makes us individuals.
Right.
Nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Honey, I'm perfectly perfect, made by God. And I'll tell people that every time. Because it is what those are what we call the little sprinkles that make us again who we are. And that is very important to embrace who you are, because otherwise, again, if we look to the left and the right, she's not gonna look like me and I ain't gonna look like her. So therefore, unless we're identical twins, we got a couple of twins. Let me think about that again. Let me say that a different way. But my point I'm trying to make is I appreciate both of your take on confidence because it makes a lot of sense to me. And I know that it helps someone who's probably watching right now because we know we deal with this on a daily basis, trying to understand what confidence is to us. You know what I mean? And what that looked like. Now that you're in this pageant process, would you say that your idea of confidence have shifted a little bit, or have you always felt the way you felt? I'll go ahead again with you, Natalie.
Has my idea of confidence changed? I don't know if my idea of confidence changed, but I think my mindset of what confidence can be has grown, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Relita said something in one of our first workshops, and she said something like, being a good sister is loving somebody where they are, right?
Mm.
And I think that was a growth point for me, right? It's not always like, sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to empower this person, but that empowered me to just embrace somebody where they were. So I think that was a confidence change for me. So I think that answers your question.
It really did. And that was some good advice from Queen Relita to tell you, as they are, where they at, love them for where they are. Because, we tend to try to make people fit into what our ideas of what they should be or who they should be. Sweetheart, no ma'am, no sir, no, 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 no. Just like I say that this process, I believe this process bring out different characteristics of people within their self that bring them to the forefront. Some things that you probably didn't really think about or assume that you have as a characteristic. Would you say that, Delegate SaDonna, or would you disagree?
I agree with that. This process has definitely been an eye opener for me. Building my confidence, being able to do things that I didn't think I could accomplish. So it's definitely been eye opening and a game changer for me. But I'm embracing it. I'm loving it, and the support that we have is just phenomenal. So it just makes it even easier to have that sister support to throughout the whole process. So I'm enjoying every moment of it.
I love that. I love that. We take a lot of pride in making sure that the sisterhood part of this process is on the forefront and the competition part of this process is on the back. However, we all know at the end on pageant day, we will have some winners and we will have some supporters. Did you notice that I did not say loser?
Right.
Because none of you are losers. We are winners and supporters. And if you learn something in any type of leadership program, you have to be an amazing follower to be an extraordinary leader.
That's
So,
true.
that's a little jewel for some of those out there. Now let's move into really talking about what you're standing upon, because part of this pageant, you have to have something you're passionate about that you want to pour into, and we call those platforms. Ladies, let's talk about your platforms. Let's talk a little bit about how you got to your decision of your platform and tell us what it's all about. Excuse me. Go ahead, Delegate Natalie.
So my platform is exchanging generational curses for generational wealth. And behind my platform is empowering women financially, empowering them to seek financial freedom, financial literacy, and to not live paycheck to paycheck.
I love that. And I also know that you got a little more to that. You actually publish a financial journey. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so I am the creator of a product called the Yearly Financial Planner, and it is basically a step-by-step yearly planner that guides women on challenges that they can do on a monthly basis to achieve financial freedom. And everybody has a unique journey, but there are just some tidbits and tips that I think help on that journey. And so that's what the financial planner does.
I want to put one more of your other cards that I learned over social media. You are doing a daily savings, right? How
Yes.
does that work? Because I go purchase lunch every day. That's probably not a good idea. So how does the daily saving challenge work? Because you shared that your year to date of what your idea or your plan, your goal to save, you have not met that goal. So you're going to find a way to get to that goal. I love the way you pivot that. And then tell us a little bit more about how that works.
Yeah, so every year at the beginning of the year, I do an annual budget and I include savings, I include my general cost of living, what I want to do for investments. And this year I had a savings goal and some things came up and I haven't been meeting my goal, right? Because usually I save on a monthly basis and that's how I achieve my goal. Well, we're in the 6th month of the year, so I still have time, but I know that I'm off track from that monthly savings. So I need to get back on track. And that might mean saving more money daily so that I won't buy lunch, or I will meal prep for the week, right? Or I may not buy that new lipstick that I could have had under my miscellaneous budget, but now I can't because I didn't do a good job in my first couple of months, right? So that is what's happening and why I decided to do the daily savings challenge. And what it is basically you set an amount and every day you save that amount. It can be any amount, but just challenge yourself to consistently do it. And I think it's important because, a lot of times I just look at statistics that come out, and there's like a statistic that 50% of women in America have zero savings, right? Women are like the heart of the family, right? We're usually the ones who do most of the money planning, do most of the spending, have to account for most of the financials. And if we have no savings, that means the family probably has no savings. And what if something comes up, right? So it's difficult. So this is just a way to get started. Like say somebody does $5 a day. At the end of the month, they'll have over $1,000 saved, right? Now they're not going to get that Starbucks daily. They're maybe not going to go buy lunch, but they'll have $1,000 that they saved in 1 month, and it'll get them there.
You know what? Did you think about $5 a month? I saw your face look like my face.
Did you see my face?
Yes.
Because I'm definitely doing the challenge. It's definitely a good idea. So I'm starting a little small. I don't got too much pennies because I got 3 babies.
Whatever it is, just be consistent, and you'll see it grow.
Small, but I am doing the challenge, so I am excited about to see how it ends up for me.
You'll be good. I'm gonna remind you every day.
I know you will, Miss Natalie.
I personally did not think about $5 a day. Ladies, listen to what the jewels that was just dropped here. As little as $5 a day. And I know I spend between $10 and $15 on lunch per day. So, $5 a day, that makes sense to me. Just a little something out there. And the fact that you're willing to put that information out there for more women can understand how important it is to be financial literacy. And because a lot of us, we go. I know for a fact, me, I can go on a clearance where I can think I'm doing something.
But you don't really need that item.
Do I really need that item? I don't think I really need that item. You're right. Something to think about. All right, beautiful. Tell us about your platform.
So my platform is very special to me. It's in regards to attention deficit disorder, ADHD, with my son. I have a 12-year-old son that suffers from that. So I want to bring awareness to the fact that there is a low diagnosis for minority children that have this, and they do not receive the same treatment as other students or other children. So I want to bring awareness to that because I think it's very important that we bridge the gap between our school systems and our communities, because our children are our future, and we need to make sure that anything they need, medical treatment or counseling, that we're able to provide those things for them.
I love that. Again, y'all gonna hear me say I love a lot because I'm telling you, a lot of this information is lovable. Okay, so I don't mind sharing the love that I feel. And what I'm hearing, though, you're actually dealing with this as a personal note because of your son. And you know how people sometimes joke about that behavior and that diagnosis, and it's not a joke.
It's not. It's not.
It's
It's
not a joke.
And I think that one thing that I had to learn as a parent, sometimes, especially being an African American single mother, we sometimes be in denial with a lot of things. And it was probably signs that I saw when he was younger that I probably should have embraced and got him the treatment that he needed. But I felt, oh, he's just a boy. You know, boys just do those things. But now that he's almost in the eighth grade and he's really going through hormonal changes and
Mhm.
really trying to identify who he is as a person, it's really important that I have that network in between his school and family support to make sure that he's getting all the benefits that he deserves to be successful.
And I'm sure it's a lot harder because you're in education as well, too, right?
Well, I actually work in the mortgage business. So
Oh,
it's the total opposite. So with that, I now my family, I have a lot of educators in my family. So they have always guided me through situations when it comes to Donovan and things of that nature. But yeah, I'm in a mortgage business, honey. So, so
listen.
totally
I,
different.
Listen, King Little Prince Donovan, because that's his name. I love that you mentioned his name. Because, when we speak on our children and we speak their name, honey, we speak greatness over them,
That's right.
period.
That's
And a
right.
lot of times over, we forget that we got to be okay with understanding they're still trying to grow into their being a human, okay?
Right.
'Cause 12, okay, let's think about it. When I was 12 years old and in school, baby, it was too much stimulation going around for me, okay? What's happening and what's going on. And I had a conversation with a group that we also are supporting called the oh God, what is it? The Good Man Project. It's the Good Man Project, right? The Good Man Project. And they take a lot of young men and they build them up. A lot of them trying to teach them that it's okay for them to have emotions. You don't have to be the rough boy. And I'm sure for your son, it's kind of hard because he's trying to fit in.
Right. Right. And
And if he
peer pressure and bullying and these the generation today is totally different than it was when I was in school. And these children deal with a lot, especially with social media always being in the forefront of their minds. It's so much temptation, and trying to fit in and making sure that you are the perfect friend and things of that nature. So it is definitely difficult. So that's why it's important to, have that support system, especially for our young black men, especially for them. So
Yeah, and I think a lot of times over, like you said, the peer pressure of it all can be difficult. And I'm really, really hoping that everything that you seek to put into space for your son and others that's actually dealing with this come to fruition. Because you know what? It is definitely a needed process. We don't talk about it a lot. It's like anything mental related, we tell people to pray on it, honey.
right,
Well, you need the help from that of education and understanding and the Lord's Bible, honey. Not
right.
he's going to be there,
It
but we have
all
to do
Plenty of
our part.
that.
triple threat.
Mhm. Yeah, we got to do our part too. We have to definitely do our part. That is an amazing. Both of you have amazing platforms, and what I love about them are they're not what we call a traditional platform for anyone. And that means that you have to really dig deep to make sure people understand the importance of what you're doing. So kudos to you for taking on something that personally I have not seen through our process in our 5 years. And it's refreshing to see what you're doing. Hurrah, hurrah.
Thank
Okay. I am so excited about it. Now that we have definitely talked about our platforms, we want to really talk about what brought you to the pageant. What got you right here today on this good, beautiful day? So, starting with you, Natalie, why being in this pageant is important to you, girlfriend?
I'm loving the pageant, to be honest. I think what originally brought me to the pageant is definitely not what keeps me at the pageant. I think when I first heard about the pageant, I was like, okay, like I said, I moved to the DMV maybe about 2 years ago. And I was like, I think this is a community of women like me, and I would like to do the pageant, be a part of that. And after the first meeting, I was like, okay, I think I said something. You asked me like, okay, if you get chosen, are you going to commit? And I think I responded that I really value my time and I value other people's time. And it's on one thing that you can't get back. And so if I commit, I'm going to do it, which is very true about me. And so then what keeps me now is I feel so empowered. I try to live my life in a manner that I empower women around me. And I love the fact that I'm empowered by the women that are around me. So I think that's what keeps me around. I think from the moment I had that interview, I realized like, oh, these are women that I can feel inspired by. And so it gave me a little hint, and I wasn't wrong, and I'm loving it.
Oh my God, I'm about to say it. I love it. And you said, okay, so now I'm about to dig a little bit. You said what means to the pageant is not keeping me in it. So what brought you to the pageant? I'm curious.
So what brought me, I thought it would be something similar. Like I wanted to do the pageant, like get out and just kind of be out in the community of the DMV, because I'm used to doing that, but I hadn't done that since I've been here, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought it would be just an opportunity to get out in the community. It is an opportunity to get out in the community, and I literally love the community service aspect. I literally love it. And it has been a chance for me to do that, but it's more. So that's what keeps me here.
I love that. Ooh, I'll say it again. I love it. And we get compared, and we talked about this too, how we get compared to a sorority kind of thing. And you are a sorority sister of a sorority. Would you say that we have some elements of it, or what would you say to that comment?
Yes. Okay. So I'm a Zeta. Right. I think it does. I think the sisterhood, I think, not I think, I know. I think sisterhood is something that's very big in Zeta, right? It's big in most sororities, right? And so I definitely see with the pageant that this is a sisterhood. I see a lot of women that have built a bond already and they maintain a sisterhood. I see the opportunity for other women to join this sisterhood with a united vision and mission, right? So that definitely embodies what a sisterhood, a sorority does. So definitely.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, that's usually my forefront, because I feel like, it's not easy to actually make connections with like-minded people, because we're very guarded as people, as humans. We just guard it because we know that we have to be careful what we let into our life. Now, I have said this in other of conversations that I've had with conversations with everybody is not going to conform to the sisterhood. Everybody is not going to feel the same about the sisterhood. And I have said this since the beginning as well. You don't have to like us as long as you respect us, and all is well. And it has to be like that sometimes, where though you have to leave people exactly where they're at and understand that this was not where they needed to grow at. Because the process, if you really give it everything that we talked about, and I did not tell any stories about what this was going to be. I just think sometimes people don't believe it.
That's true.
I put it in writing. I talked about it. I tell you it's going to be a commitment. I tell you that we're going to be doing some work, and it's going to require some time. And I honor people's time, because time is the most valuable asset that we have, honey. Yes. All the money we save in the world, we can continue to add up on that money, but we can't add up that time back. That time, once it's gone, it is spent. Okay? It is spent, and it is done deal. And right now, with the world we're living into right now, we have to be very selfish. with the time that we give people, because you're not wasting none of my business time that the Lord and bless me with.
Yes, say it again.
It's not happening.
Amen. On
It's
that.
not happening. Okay. All right. Delegates, SaDonna, tell us why is being this pageant important to you?
So this pageant is important to me because it has allowed me to step out of my comfort zone. It has allowed me to have the chance to do something for me, to put me first for a change instead of everybody else. And then it's the sisterhood. Just to piggyback off of what Natalie said, it's amazing. From day one, it's been consistent. There's been a support system, and we just mesh well. We just really mesh well, mesh very well, and that's
that. That's a great way to put it.
That's an added bonus because you don't get that. So that's what it does for me.
I would say, when you say we mesh well, we're like a good old salad. You start throwing stuff in there, you be amazed. You be like, give me a little of this and give me a little of that. That salad be delicious. You try to figure out what else you can put in it sometimes when you should just leave it alone.
Just eat it how it is. Get greedy.
Just leave it alone. And that's also why I'm not a fan of the saying, I don't get along with women. I just don't get along. Well, you know what, sweetheart? That's because you decided not to get along with women. And if you notice, if you look at the word human, most of the time it's because you and that human have no connections, no characteristics that can go on, and you have nothing to bond upon. So
you don't want to grow with it. Because even if you did it, you don't want to grow.
Let me tell you, it's definitely a beautiful sight to see, because like I said, we're in our 5th anniversary, ladies. You are our 5th season, and you'd be amazed of how many women, once the season starts, they like, can I get into this? Can I get into this? And I try to explain to people, this is not about the finances. However, it is a business. Okay, it's still a business. Any organization that runs off of having some type of financial support, and it is operated as a business, but you get a benefit from it. Just like when I go to the seafood house. I love seafood. If they gave me all my seafood for free, they'd be out of business. So it's important that everybody understand every element of it. However, when you get to receive something, from what you invest in there, it's so much more a bigger reward. And I say that because people go, I'll pay my whole thing right now. And I'll be like, sweetheart, it is closed.
Look, no.
The next one is not until open registration, August 2021 for 2022. And I didn't have people go, but I promise I can pay. Baby, you missed out on a whole connection. It's like bringing in a new student in a classroom in the end of the year.
They lost.
Yeah. They lost. And we don't want people to be lost. We don't want people to be lost, because I think also what you ladies have learned, that we have taken the time to prepare a curriculum.
Yes.
Process.
This process, you have to learn about the before people. Okay? Right. You have to prepare yourself with some foundation of information to be able to be exactly who you want to be on pageant day.
I did not expect that. That was one of the things I was like, really? I was like, is this a information booklet? So that reminded me of Zeta.
Organized and colorful. I mean, it just exciting.
I know.
It's exciting.
It's interesting. I like it though, because it's difficult to build on a legacy when you don't even know what the legacy is, right? And so I think it's very important. It's a great aspect, but I definitely did not expect that. But it's a good aspect.
Well, I'm saying we're more than a pageant. We're good like no other. Okay? All day, every day. So you talk about getting the packet and you say, oh God, this is colorful. Do you want to go back to that day a little bit about when you received your delegate box? That was new for me this year.
Oh.
Because we had the box was, not the information inside of it, but the box was, because usually we are able to do this in person. Okay. So we're like, okay, this is usually in person. How am I going to make this process just as enjoyable and exciting as I would in person? Would you ladies tell me again how you felt about the box that you received in the beginning? Go ahead, Delegate SaDonna.
So I was like a child on Christmas Eve. I was like, I gotta open it. I'm ready to open it. But it was so your technique and your creativity on the whole process of us not being allowed to open it till a certain time. You just got more anxious and more anxious and more anxious. And baby, when I opened that box, I was like, oh, what the potato salad, ham, macaroni, and cheese. That was not what I was expecting. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And it just
Wow.
gave me
And
more
you, Natalie?
confirmation about the process. So
I love that. I'm sorry I almost cut you off, but I knew I was waiting. I was like, oh, they're gonna be like, what is she talking about? Why do I have to wait? This ain't Christmas.
Look, I'm gonna let you now. So I was so happy when I got my box. We met and I picked it up and I met Delegate Tania that day. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, she's so sweet. This is wonderful. I want to open this box. And it was like, I can't open this box. I need to see what's in here. And then I love the task that we had that record yourself opening the box. So it almost put more suspense because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be creative, but I just want to rip this box open and I want to see what is inside. So it was a great experience. I loved it. It made me feel like we're officially starting.
Let me tell you, you ladies did an amazing job. And I was like, okay, because you're okay. So Natalie, I can never forget yours because I saw the leopard print pop up. I said, where did the leopard come from? I don't think you got in the box. And then she came up and said, ooh, okay. I mean, but to see the personalities come out when each of you did those videos was amazing. If you have not seen the video is currently on our IG page. Follow us on IG and Facebook at Miss Full Figure DMV Pageant, and you will get an opportunity to experience the box opening, which was super fun. The girls did an amazing job, and it was just, it was just amazing. I appreciate you both for definitely making a decision because, as you know, this is not a situation where I make a decision and it is what it is when it comes to participating in this pageant. And you'd be amazed of how many people go, I have to wait how many weeks after this interview to tell you find out if I'm gonna be a part. Did you ladies have that same, what do you mean I have to wait till so and so? What did you think, SaDonna?
that's the anticipation was crazy, but like you said, it was a process. I was very nervous. I was like, okay, it's either gonna go two ways. I'm in or I'm out. So, and I'm thankful and blessed that I was in. So it was good for me.
I love it. How about you, Natalie?
I was just like, I have to get an email. I have to get an email so I can send my I accept. I have to get an email. When is the email? I need that email because I'm ready with my I accept.
And the reason why we do that, and I hope you will be a testament to understand that when someone, and I'm going to ask you this question next, when we want you to take the opportunity to process what you learned and say, okay, do I really, am I able, work some things out? Because, it's easy to say yes when you are in the moment. But when you have to sit back and think about what this means, it's a little bit different, baby. And even after you do it, you go, well, wait a minute. Is that what I said? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And you be okay with it though, because now look, listen, we have 12 extraordinary, beautiful women who's competing for our 5th anniversary crown. And for me, that is, oh, honey, the number is not the problem for me, honey. The quality is what I look for. in a woman because I want to be comfortable as a director. Any women who get selected, and you will hear me say this too, I'm going to be able to say, yep, I'm good. Because I know she's going to embody what we instill in her, right? I know, and I tell people, they be like, "Oh, what do you do if you don't like the person?" Okay, what do I do if I don't like the person? Listen, it shouldn't be a situation where I don't like the person. Okay, but if you're asking what I do if I feel like a woman does not see fit, and it's in our contract, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have the right to remove that person. As a director, why? Because you're representing a brand or organization that I am the head of. Okay. However, I have never been put in that position, and I never want to be put in that position. And this is why we go through the selection process. This is why it's not a fashion show, and anybody that show up is welcome to join. Okay. This is why this happened. This is why the interview process is in place. Now, have we ever had a representative before? Do y'all know what that means? A representative? Somebody show up as something else and then they end up being a whole different show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Perpetrator. A
Yeah,
perpetrator.
perpetrator.
Yeah. We have some of those. We have some of those that usually show, which is okay. Which is definitely okay. So if you had to tell a woman that approach you and say, I want to learn more about the Miss Full Figure DMV pageant, and I want to be a part of it, what would be your one piece of advice to give me before I move forward with this decision? What would you tell her, Natalie?
Ask her, does she have time for the process? Because you want to be in the pageant, but that's one day. Do you have time for the process?
Make her think. I like that. Nope, I love that. Mm-hmm. What would you tell her, baby?
Something on the lines of that. Are you willing to be committed and put in the dedication and the loyalty? You have to think about all of that because, like you said, if you were able to get into it, you're representing a brand, an established professional brand. So you have to make sure that your characteristics and you as a person is going to be willing to do that because some changes will have to be made. That's just the bottom line. So I would just have to be straight to the point. That's it.
Well, what I actually love too is that the both of you have decided to go on this journey with us. It is a monumental year for us. I done changed a couple of things, and let me tell you, these previous queens and delegates are like, where did I get that? We didn't get that, But it happens every year. You're probably going to say it too next year and say, what is that? And where did that come from? Why didn't we get that?
I'm gonna say just like they said, where's mine? Where's mine? I know there's an extra.
Ladies, you have really filled my cup tonight. This has been an amazing conversation. Again, I love the fact that your platforms are not traditional. You really had to reach for them. And because you are extraordinary women, it wasn't that hard for you. No, it's not. And what I also love is that we tell you to make sure you pick something that you can be passionate about, whether or not you're a winner or a supporter, you're able to move through with it because your pageant sisters and your director will always be there to support you, honey. This is for life, honey. It is for life. And which makes us a little bit different from other pageants because we encourage the connections. We encourage us to stay with each other. We encourage the push through, And any relationship worth having is going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
It takes work from everybody who's involved. And ladies, you are putting in the work. So I am super proud of you as your director and your sister. I want to tell you, you did a phenomenal job. Yes, again. Ladies, tell everybody goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
They did an amazing job, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just think about it. The platforms alone, if you just think about the platforms alone, one is about financial literacy, one is about child understanding of ADHD. I might be saying it wrong. The initials, I don't really know the initials per se, but the fact that she's living with it, dealing with it, and trying to make sure she help others with it says a whole lot. Now, if you are not aware, which you should be because you're on this live, that we are currently promoting our 5th anniversary pageant. That is why we're here today with our 2021 delegates. Tickets are currently on sale. The link to the tickets are on our website at www.miss4figuredmv.com. Also, if you go to our IG page, you can also click the link in our bio and you'll be able to go directly to our ticket location as well. This is going to be an extravaganza because it is a full dinner serve. Yeah, you heard me say dinner serve, full dinner serve, sit down presentation without delegate, without pageant and vendors, and it's just going to be an amazing time. Okay, if you haven't already, I also want to encourage you to subscribe to. Yeah, look, every time I play that, I get my shoulders get to rolling and I get excited about it. But yes, subscribe to our YouTube page and know that if anyone haven't told you they love you tonight, no, Miss Lorene does. Why? Because God says so. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. It has been an amazing night, and thank you for supporting and joining us tonight.